So, guys, we are about to start. Okay, we are starting right now. And let's see what we'll cover today. So, first thing first, the revision of what we went through Thursday, which is the article, aside, header, footer, section, navigation, del, ends, ests, mark tab, details, summary, progress, AB bar tab, HTML comments, figure and figure caption, and others more. We also, I was going to do some review on the assignment that I have given you guys, but I don't think time will be enough since we moved. The deadline is on Thursday now, so we can do that on Wednesday if you guys are all finished. I was saying today I was planning on a review on the assignment that I had given you, but since you guys are not, all of you are not finished, right? So it won't make sense giving 3 or 2 of you guys and a review, then wait for the others to finish. So I think we can do that on Wednesday. So review has been postponed. It is scheduled for possible Wednesday or Thursday. It depends on you guys. It depends on you. Because if you guys tomorrow finish, I can do a review. Yeah. Then on a break. Then after that, some CSS introduction, and then about properties. What is a property? What is a value? What is a declaration block? All of that, and also dive in depth in some properties, CSS properties such as width, a text selector, grouping selectors, and also we get to learn about elements in another way. Like we'll have some understanding of elements. How do we actually style elements? How do we grab elements? How do we select elements? So let's start. Can you read for me on the nav the first sentence, the first paragraph? Yeah.
The nav, that element is used to define navigation areas, making it easy to use to find your way around the website.
Okay. You go for it.
The article element represents the self-contained composition in a document, such as a news article, blog post, or trading post.
Okay. Aisha?
The given element typically contains introductory content at the top of a section or page, often including headings, logos, and navigation.
Cindy?
Section element is used to group related content together within a document and it helps with structure in the page.
Okay. Zainab, can you do the aside? Because I don't think you can see the footer. Yeah.
The side element is used to content that is tangible.
Yes. That way. No, you need to come down before you say it. Tanje, Shiali. Shiali. What is, when they say something is tangible, it's something that is, Tanje, Shiali. Yeah. So yeah, you can continue.
Like signposts or advertising.
Yeah. So let me do the rest. The main element is an important HTML5 semantic element that is used to represent the main content of an HTML document. It helps in structuring web pages and making them more accessible and meaningful. The main element should contain the primary content of the document, excluding content that is site-wide, such as navigation, menus, or headers. Then we have the small tag. The small element is used to make text appear smaller, indicating that it contains fine print or secondary information. Let me just go through that again. The small element is used to make text appear smaller, indicating that it contains fine print or secondary information. The summary element is used to define the visible heading for a details element which can be clicked to toggle the disclosure, which is it expands to show you what is hidden in the disclosure. Yeah, that. So are we all on the same line on this? No question? Okay. Then we have the del element. The del element represents deleted or removed text in a document, often displayed with a strike through. The del element represents deleted or removed text in a document, often displayed with a strike through. Who can tell me about that?
The what?
The del, sorry,
That's the line.
strike through.
Word is on.
Okay, yeah, that is that. So the figure element is used to encapsulate media content such as images, videos, or charts. Or charts, I got it right. Along with the caption using fig caption element. So, who can here tell me what is the meaning or the definition of the word encapsulate? Can you try because you know OP right now? Yeah. Can you try? Encapsulate.
When something is covered, like it surrounds everything.
Okay, Zainab?
It's like, oh my god, I know what it is. Wait, it's like, it's only used in that section and like it can't be, or nothing can access outside, something like that. Basically, it's on its own.
So encapsulation, you are good, and you are right, you are both right, guys. Encapsulation is like a container. It is here, like we're all encapsulated in this building. Even these computers are encapsulated in this building. So encapsulation is that. Right? Okay, sure. The reason why I'm explaining that, I think the more you progress with this software development, you will meet those terms: encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction. Yeah.
Without basic.
Yeah.
I like this from those.
Okay, so let's do fig caption. We last spoke about the figure element, right? Now we are on fig caption. The fig caption element is used to provide a caption for the content within a figure element. The fig caption element is used to provide a caption for the content within a figure element. The S element is used to indicate text that is no longer accurate or irrelevant but is not removed from the document. The S element is used to indicate text that is no longer accurate or relevant but it is not removed from the document. Okay.
So the S and the del, they both,
The div,
the del,
oh, yeah, they both use,
use the strike through,
no.
isn't it?
The S? Yeah. With the behavior, because it is no longer, it depends on the browser. Again, it may show to some, but to some, it may not show, because it is basically the similar thing. I won't say the same thing, because you can use an S where you have also del. Del, when you use del, automatically it gives you the strike through. Because it's deleted, it's supposed to be deleted. Okay, let's do the div. Remember, if you are not sure about an element, we have our own Google, which is, yeah. Then we have examples. Right now you can even just at home play with W3C schools at home. I highly recommend MDN, but you can use W3C schools to advance yourself in this topic. So the div element is a fundamental and a versatile HTML element that is not a semantic element. Can I just reiterate that again? The div element is a fundamental, versatile HTML element that is not a semantic element like some of the others we discussed earlier, which is header, your footer, and other things. Instead, it is a generic container used to group and structure content on a web page. The div element itself does not carry any specific meaning or semantics. Its purpose is to provide a way to apply styling and layout to HTML elements or select them with CSS and JavaScript. Did you get that? The KBD tag, KBD, not video. You said video, KBD. The KBD element represents user input in the form of keyboard input such as key pressed. It often renders the enclosed text in a way that resembles keyboard keys and is used to indicate what a user should type or press. The KBD element represents user input in the form of keyboard input, such as key presses. It often renders the enclosed text in a way that resembles keyboard keys and is used to indicate what a user should type or press. HTML element comments are non-visible annotations with your HTML code that provide information, notes, or explanations to developers working on a web page. HTML comments do not appear on the rendered web page in the browser. They are only seen when viewing the page source. Okay, sure. Then we have the progress element. The progress element is used to display the progress of a task or a process. It includes a value that represents the current progress. The mark element is used to highlight and mark a portion of a text for a reference or emphasis. The ABBR, which is abbreviation, the ABBR element is used to define an abbreviation or acronym, providing the full expanded version of the term as a title attribute. The ins element represents inserted text in a document, often underlined. Are we all on the same page? Yeah. So I think we are here.
Sorry?
I think this question is for these questions are for everyone. Yep.
Okay, so I learned that I actually mentioned it earlier to Sir that with section and article, especially with article, that it should always have a heading because the W3
schools.
no that three that very heading keeps giving me ears because I don't have a heading. So I have to change my own thieves. And what else? What challenges that I faced was the base tag. Like I understood the logic behind it, but in terms instead of making my life easier, made it a bit harder as well. Because it's not always going to the image file, there's different types. And I think you can only have one base tag.
Okay.
Not sure. Or what have I learned? Don't do your project within 2 hours. Explain being open-minded. So your way isn't correct. You must also consider other people's opinions, and their opinion also has some sort of value. What goes in your mind isn't the only thing that goes in. Everyone has a different approach to different things. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Next.
Okay. What was it? Doing the stuff that I was like very comfortable with, like the stuff, like the tags that we learned in the beginning, like the list and that, because I was just like challenges phase. It was mostly I didn't think I really had challenges with regards to the tags because MDN was like there. But I think it was mostly just the, am I missing a tag? Do I get all of them? But I think we got it now. What have we learned? In all of the tags that we learned.
Yeah.
Up to
Started from session 1
one
to
thing
2.
that I can specifically say that I learned to that was the instant being able to navigate between pages because we didn't get based on example. I thought we did the assignments of that something. Explain being open-minded. So it's basically being not set in your ways. It's open to new things and such.
Okay. What? Hello guys, there's 3 of you. Come on, speak.
Speak people, the first thing we can go.
I don't want to point. I don't want to point anyone. Just speak, guys.
Oh, this is exciting.
I can't hear you.
The app camp, it wasn't like complete, just looking at like I did the Challenges, my laptop crashed.
You let them crash. Yes. You let them go. You should know what
So
Okay.
and then like she said, thinking that you do everything, and the layout of things, you need to put this in it. And the main thing was what to make it about.
Okay.
What did we learn? So now you need to drop downs and all of that. So I learned how to do it in an ordered list.
Mm-hmm.
List items. Being open-minded. It's like kind of like thinking out of the box, not just staying to your own, but trying to see other people's perspectives on things.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Okay. I was excited about doing the project and the outcome of the head, but our things are really excited about it. It's very nice. And then the challenges, the big challenge of things was about everything that needed to be done in the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened is she told me after we can click on the top part and it will take you into the whatever part you do.
Mm.
And then yeah, but being open minded is take help from anyone that because they might know that you don't do.
Okay. Yes.
Maybe what was exciting about the project was the end product. After doing all the
Sorry. Yeah.
seeing that it works, and then you're like, yo, I felt like I'm being Google, but
Yo.
And then challenges faced you, there was a lot. Yeah, maybe emotional, so much. Because I cried, everything didn't work, and then it worked again, I was jumping straight away, 1 hour. And then what I learned was the linking of an 8 page within the one, because we learned about it, but I wasn't practical. So even with my practical, I can see the mistake now where I can fix what I did wrong. And yeah, as everyone said, being open-minded, accepting things that you don't know and wanting to know them instead of being okay, I know it now.
Okay. Nice. So must I also tell you guys what was exciting about the project? I didn't have a project. That's the thing.
You sent out your WhatsApp?
Oh, you got yeah.
What time is it out your weekend?
Oh, I was asking you guys, but you want me to answer the same questions?
Yes.
Oh, what was exciting about the project?
I know some good every day, so come on. You must have done a project, if not the
So-
project.
What was exciting about the project is it was the fact that you guys were confident enough that you were going to finish this project. So that alone for me, it made my weekend. That's why I had to just bounce out of the house, go with cheetahs and have fun, watch Ravi. It was the first time, like I don't usually do those things. Now I'm always indoors. So I was like, yeah. And for the first time, people were very happy to see, can you speak? I was like, hi, boo. I'm a human being too, like, hey, boo, come on. Hi, boo. So it was like that, man. So I had fun, we took pictures. Hey, I was playing a camera boy there, man. I was shooting everyone with one of those Samsung large phones, extra pixels and stuff. I was like, I got them. So I had fun. And then, until I got a message from someone. But yeah, I had a great time. It was exciting to see you guys excited about the project. I think your excitement rubbed off on me, so I was like, yes! It was like my first time ever creating an HTML page, so I was like, challenge faced. I couldn't deal with people. So my anxiety kicked in when I was with people. I was like, nah. Like I'm a bit schizophrenic, so I was like, maybe they think about me. Yeah. So all of that stuff, I was like, nah, man, nah. But yeah, managed to ignore everything. I filtered the noise. I was okay. So what have we learned? Ah, it is like I've learned a lot, man. Like
Be open-minded.
what have I learned?
Explore different things.
I'm an explorer already. So I have learned that not everyone is the same, and we must embrace our differences. Understand? And yeah, being open-minded, like it's like being a sponge. Like whatever information you are given, it comes in. You just absorb it, and later you remove the L, then there is N. Before there was len, then you remove the L, there was N. So that is being open-minded, because the minute you invest yourself into acquiring new knowledge, your value goes up. The minute it's like that, you need to feed yourself information and knowledge so that you can bump your value. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we do. Do we need a break? Nah.
No.
Huh?
Full open, no, next.
Okay. So, finally, you guys can celebrate now. Yay! Clap hands. We're on CSS. Yay! We've been dying to start with CSS. Finally, CSS.
Apply it inside.
Yeah, finally. So, CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Not, okay, nah, I don't need to explain that. CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, is a fundamental technology used in web development. It's a styling language used to control the presentation and layout of HTML, which is hypertext markup language. Elements on our page, come on. It's like now I'm like Sholos. Have you ever seen or heard Mr. Zuma when he speaks? 300 and
Oh my god.
500 and 600. This guy, what number you? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You can say something.
I said it wrong.
Okay, sure. Let's go back here. So CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, is a fundamental technology used in web development. It's a styling language used to control the presentation and layout of HTML elements on a web page. CSS allows developers to define how HTML elements should appear in terms of design, layout, colors, fonts, and more. So can I reread that? CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, is a fundamental technology used in web development. It's a styling language used to control the presentation and layout of HTML elements on a web page. CSS allowed developers to define how HTML elements should appear in terms of design, layout, colors, fonts, and more. CSS uses a simple syntax with selectors and declaration blocks. Selectors target HTML elements, and declaration blocks contains the styling rules. Right, let's go back again. CSS uses a simple syntax with selectors and declaration blocks. Selectors target HTML elements, and declaration blocks contain the styling rules. Can we get that? So, what are selectors? Selectors are used to target specific HTML elements. They can be simply selectors are used to target specific HTML elements. They can simply, oh my God, I keep on saying simply. They can simply targeting all elements of type, or more complex, or using classes, IDs, or other attributes to select specific elements. Selectors are used to target specific HTML elements. They can simply target all elements of a type, or more complex, using classes, IDs, or other attributes to select a specific element. So what is an element selector? an element selector targets HTML elements, such as you can use a tag name, which is paragraph, h1, div, a div, or whatever tag name that you're using to style from CSS. What are class selectors? A class selector begins with a dot and selects element by their class attributes, e.g. dot myClass. Remember when we spoke about the href, and I said in order for one to navigate to locally, which is around the page, we have to use hash and the name, which was hash being the ID. So we have IDs. I said an ID was a way of identifying an element, right? So we have also classes as another way of naming elements. So ID and classes, a bit similar, but ID is more useful in some other things, which is linking. You cannot link with a class. So what is an ID selector? An ID selector begins with a hash and selects elements by their ID attribute. An ID selector begins with a hash and selects elements by their ID attribute, which is, if you can see it, do you remember when we were speaking about image maps? So if you remember, on the image tag, there is an attribute that is useMap. On useMap, we say equals, then hash. That same hash, the name of it, it is being used on the, that is the same thing that is used to link the image with the area tag on the name attribute. So that is an ID. It is also a selector. So what is an attribute selector? An attribute selector selects element based on their attribute value. An attribute selector selects element based on their attribute value. So remember, href is an attribute, right? So href equals, like an example, let me give you an example on the anchor tag. On the anchor tag, on the href, we can use a lot of different values there. Yeah.
That's basically
An attribute. Yes. So you can use, you just gave me a right answer. On target, like if you are looking for those that are opening on target blank, you can use that. Yeah. So let's do this. So are you still writing on my side? Okay, sure. Huh? Are you done?
It's fine. I think a picture of it.
Okay. So, as I said before, in CSS, we work with properties and values. I'm going to give you examples, live examples, so that you can see. Yeah. So, properties and values. CSS properties define the aspect of the elements you want to style, while values set the specific setting for those properties. Right. Let's go back. CSS properties, just forget the big words, guys. The minute you say it, it's easy. It's not like, it's not complex at all. Properties and values. CSS properties define the aspect of the elements you want to style, while the values set the specific setting for those properties. CSS properties define the aspect of the elements you want to style, while values set the specific setting for those properties. Okay? External. What is external? What is internal? What is inline? So remember when I said, when I think it was you were using the style tag the style attribute to add the background color and the border. So I said that, don't use that. Remember I said it was an inline style, but it is CSS used in line. So we are just going through this. What is an external? An external, it is linked as a separate file included in HTML using the link tag. Remember, in the head, I said to you guys, sometimes in the head tag, that's where you link the style sheets. That is that. I'm going to show you this. So in HTML, there's an element that is link. The link element, it is used to link external style sheets. Let's say if you have a separate CSS page that you want to use on your HTML page, you can use it using a link element. Then there is internal. Written in within the HTML document using the style tag in the head section. So there's a tag, there's a tag that is styled. So when the style element is used, you can style your page. You can write your CSS, it will understand. The minute you declare the style element, in between you can write CSS and the browser will understand. So that is like internal. It's written internally on the HTML document, right? Then there is inline. Inline, it means applied directly to an individual HTML element using the style attribute, which is what you did. Each and every element that we declare on the page, automatically it does have the style attribute because you can style the element. So it's not like some elements that come with style. It's like all of the elements because you can style them, right? So cascading and specificity in CSS. CSS follows a set of rules to determine how styles are applied. When there are conflicting rules, specificity, how specific a selector is, but we'll dive deep with that, I think, in the upcoming session about specificity, what is specificity in CSS. And the cascade, the order in which styles are applied, play a significant role in CSS. The last thing, CSS is a cornerstone technology in web development, allowing developers to create visually appealing, responsive, and user-friendly websites. It works hand in hand with HTML and JavaScript to create engaging web experiences. So CSS is a cornerstone technology in web development, allowing developers to create visually appealing, responsive, and user-friendly websites. It works hand in hand with HTML and often with JavaScript to create engaging web experiences. Who's still writing? Are you writing? Can you take a picture? Okay, sure. Or you guys must share pictures, whoever. Okay. Sure. So we have some examples here. So I'm gonna take you I'm gonna speak about few properties on CSS. I won't cover there's a lot of properties in CSS. I think there's about 200 or 300 properties in CSS. So we won't cover them, but we'll just give you an idea. What is a property? What is the value in the property? How do they work? All of that. So the CSS, the color CSS property, which is the color, is a property on CSS. Remember, CSS is used for styling pages. So there is a property that is color. The color property on CSS sets the foreground color value of an element, text, and text decoration, and sets the current color. Oh, I think I'm blind, guys. The color CSS property sets the foreground color of an element, text, and text decorations, and sets the current color value. Current color may be used as an indirect value on other properties and is the default for other color properties such as border color. Ooh. Okay, is there anything? Okay. So, if we can see here, they did not give us a great example. Okay, if we can take a look on this side, we have color and these funny values, which is Rebecca purple. We have this hash 00400. So it goes like this. This is a property which is color, right? Then this is a value of the property, which is the property is color, which is it for changing a color or for declaring a color in CSS. The text color, it's not a background color. There is a background, a way to change the background color, but not using color, because this one is used in, let's say if you want to change the text of, the color of the text and color of, not an image, because an image now doesn't have that. Yeah. So this is just that. And there's also another CSS property, which is text decoration. The text decoration shorthand CSS property says the appearance of a decorative lines on the text. It is a shorthand for text decoration line, text decoration color, text decoration style, and the newer text decoration thickness property.
So the CSS is decorated with
Beautiful. It's not a separate thing, it's just making it beautiful. That's why I was like, nah.
Just add it in certain tags and read to make it more bright.
Yeah. Instead of saying tags, rule sets, because they're using rule sets. Okay. If you can take a look at this example here, we have text decoration as the property. Then we have the first value being underlined, right? Which is there are certain values that you can use with them. Can you just quickly go on MDN and write text decoration and go on examples?
So just be inline CSS.
This one. Not really, because behind the scenes they link the external shape. And inline is when you like using the style tag on an element. That is when you're doing that. You are starting with inline, which is where it is declared. You are not using an external style sheet, or you're not using the style tag. Because there's a difference when we're using the style tag and when we're using the external style sheet. So, are you all guys on the MDN text decoration? Yeah. On examples?
So is that underline the things that make dotted lines with different colors, the squiggly lines, and purple.
Yeah. And it has, I'm not sure if you have noticed, it has different values. There is underline, there is underline dotted, there is underline dotted, and also red. There is green wavy underline, there is underline. If you take a look at the definition, it says that the text decoration shorthand. Shorthand, which means there's a lot of values there there's a lot of things that it covers because it's a shorthand. So it says the appearance of a decorative lines on the text. It is a shorthand for, which is number one, text decoration line, which is the first value we see there is underline. The second one being text decoration color. The third one being text decoration style. The fourth one being text decoration thickness. Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we sit on the same queue. So who's writing? Okay. Aisha? No, you can. Continue. No. Okay, sure.
So, with the CSS, is it like when you like go down, like actually do examples?
Mm-hmm.
Do the CSS and like the HTML is different on a different page? Is that what they're like different ways? Nothing like the example that they did at the bottom here. The CSS is written here, and the HTML is here.
Yeah, this is like external.
Exactly. So it's not like one thing.
So, yeah. Guys, are you all on the examples? Yes, let's go to the HTML page today. Can you see the HTML?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you see the paragraph tag, as a class, that is under. It is a class. Then the second paragraph, it
reserved for the memory.
And that is done.
No,
Okay.
it's like, give an example.
Request? What request? Or?
Yeah, she says it's, okay,
Look, wait, let me just give you an example. So we're not making website. Let's say we're putting ahead, right? This is how I do it. My own naming conventions. If this is a logo, I like logo. My logo. If it is a container for logo, you have to know what you're doing. And the name, it's better for everyone to know what you're doing. So that's what she said. You are not constrained to use some others that you can use your own words. Yes. So if you see, okay, yeah, so I agree. Okay, let's go back to the CSS.
So, is that way you when you do a picture,
Yeah. Start.
Never you did. This time, I'm looking at it today. I know what you're talking about.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You don't want to get from your paper.
Yeah, I understand what you're there, but I need to find it out.
So can you go on CSS? Yeah. No. What about those examples?
The bottom ones.
Yeah, those. So if you can see, there's dot under, right, which is the target, and it's a class, right? So it's target whatever element is that under as a class. So it's gonna start it.
So it's linked like going back to it. Yeah,
So as you can see, you can check the output. What is the output there? Yeah. So the first paragraph it is under, right? And it is underlined. The style is underlined. Okay. Text decoration underlined, red. The output. This is the text underlined, which is. You understand? So are you all guys comfortable?
Yes.
Really? How much do you have? I want to check on everyone. Because when you did it, I can see that you have some knowledge of this.
So, I know the word is very long, so it's fine, but I'm looking at I'm going to try my best to use the proper wording. So, what I'm looking at is my HTML. This is just a question. By the first paragraph,
Yeah.
we have the paragraph and then we have the attribute clause.
Mm.
And then we have the value.
Sorry?
We have the value under.
So are you saying the class, the attribute class and the value under are separate?
No, you see, my question is coming to this. Whatever that's in the inverted commas in HTML, the equals to sound and then inverted commas.
The class, it is a class.
Okay.
Look,
No, I see what
yeah, let me just try to clarify, because I see that you want to understand this. So the attribute class, right? It's like same thing as the attribute ID. Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
The equals is the actual value of the class, which is the name of the class. Right? It's like a placeholder. The class attribute is like a placeholder. Like you don't write name, then colon, your name. You just write the value of it, which is the property is name. So same thing with CSS. So can you understand? Huh? Okay. So there's also another CSS property which is width. Who can tell me about the width?
changes the
Aha. Yes, sir. So, Zena, can you tell us about the margin?
So what?
The margin property.
Oh my god, so why me? Okay, wait. Wait. I know this. I literally did this the other day. Oh my. Oh, but I did those guys. Oh my god. What was it? I just know so there were those things around it. What you call it? There's a word for it, the box. It's
Box sizing.
Yeah, so I always go with my margin. This more is like 3 or 4. Okay, one of it's called border margin, and this
Padding and content.
Yeah, I always repeat that. So.
Okay, so a width.
Sorry. So you know what I do to like from that I go to this to the inspection.
Yeah.
And that's how
It really helps. It helps. So, guys, I'm not sure if you guys. Oh, can you guys quickly open JSP? I want us to do some practicals here, and then we continue. So I'm gonna speak while you guys are opening JSP. So basically, what is a margin? The margin CSS shorthand property sets the margin area on all 4 sides of an element. So a margin is a space around the element, not inside or space around the element, right? Just know that for now until we get to box sizing. Yeah. So the width CSS property sets an element width. By default, it says the width of the content area, but it is if box sizing is set to border box, it says the width. It says the width of the border area. But yeah. So, did you open JSP?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you have something already there? Ne? Okay. Who? Can you just write even if it's an H1? I don't mind. Whoever has something on their page already, can you quickly go to CSS section? Okay. You want to tell me the H1? Then can you just write H1? No.
just
That's it. Open the gloves. No. So, can you just write color? Columns, no columns. No. Yes, writing color.
I chose it.
Chose that? Okay. What happened? Remove the U because you are right. I think in America, you get the writing color.
That's what, so just to try to see what comes up as well.
Remove the U from the color. Then you can go to it and see it's going to change. Oh, yeah, I understand. Okay. Let's talk about it. I like what you guys don't much activity. So let's go with the issue. No, the word is you see, if you don't have an each one. If you can try to do an each one and that most goes to the each one, it's going to change the So what I'm trying to show you, it says the target, then the declaration of what is those pieces. The opening and the closing base. We have the
So when we do this, you know, this is like, always
obviously you commercially say that HTML and the open matter like text or the document something that CSS and that's where you like you say if you're going to do a site, the site tag you put a site in there and inside of that one is the whatever style thing you want.
Okay, sure. So when you want to start a tag that is on HTML, right? You can. There's a lot of ways to go about that. You can style it using the tag or the actual technique, which is what is used in this. You set H1, which is the technique. You can use it using. You can start using a technique, but there's a problem with that. Just picture this: if you have about like let's say 8 H1s in the same page, but you did not want the same style sheet for them. So what would you do? In that case, they introduce classes so that you can specifically name what you want. Or this actually belongs here, or you can put
Color.
my header.
It's a code.
It's up to you, like, what is it for? Or the description so that you can understand what you're
So
trying to do.
you use hashtags on top with the hash and color.
Okay, so
So
when we,
like here,
yeah,
say this is the user I have.
okay.
And now I want to bring them over to the rules. If I use like hash with the hash name and then hash 7.
Okay, no, it's not like that. So, you see, you're using an H1, right? So, if you want to declare a class, in your JSP, just declare a class in any element that you have a class with a name, not an HTML. You also have an ID. Yeah, start with the class. Class is an attribute. Let's go back with the HTML page. Remember, class is an attribute, and any element that you have on the page can have a class on ID.
Okay, don't you really mind that?
Yeah,
Oh, they were
go on there, write ID or class. Can come out. That is it.
Okay.
Now you understand. It is
So
just,
paragraph, so P first, then cross, and then whatever information.
yeah. They're just giving you an name so that you can use it. It is a selector. You are using it if you have to create an element style. So on that, JSP HTML just have the class and then ID. I want to show you some, so that you can understand the hash and the dot where they come from. Okay, sure. You can even copy some of the code that you did when you assign because system should do it right here. Okay. Just stay with it. Stay with it. So, declare an ID. So, a class, then you can declare a class equals and quotation. Class equals and quotation. Yeah. Okay, just give it a name of your choice. But there mustn't be a space. You see, those are two classes. You can have two classes. When there's a space,
I
it's a
copy and paste this one.
Oh,
It's not.
now you can
So,
just rename it. But you'll understand it. You understand it because okay, then there's an ID, then go back to your page and search for ID. And copy that code, we can find out now because it's still there. That's the whole purpose.
Research ID.
That's ID and yeah. It's similar to
Oh, so this makes it like box almost working with the
well, that's
eyes.
like you specify. You have to just grab the element by on the SAT. If you just go to CSS tab,
Oh,
see they're using a second question. If it was a class, then you use dot SAT.
was it a specific word as the data?
Yeah. Because we are going to go on the
It's
you will just remove the
So it doesn't come up here, like while the squares are on it, so if you add the RGB and then it comes up, so the wording will be here, it's exciting. If it says this, it's exciting, the background, the background, but the main ID.
Picture says the scaling the whole document, the scaling contains classes, ID, attributes.
So certain words in paragraphs and stuff that you can track everything.
So you have a class, right? So in your CSS, use a class, the class,
I see such a way to put that.
name the class. Name the class. So are you sure? Because CSS is case sensitive. Are you sure A is the uppercase? Yeah. But the thing is, when you're working with CSS, you see what is the best, you can use it, but it won't work. It won't work. It doesn't mean everything you can use as a standalone. It is a tag. In CSS, a class is identified by a dot, which is, in your case, you have said dot. Then you use
Not that time, not that time.
after this is the type of this is the type of oh, it's inside the is.
No. I know what you mean.
But I want to just have more space so that you
So when you do HTML with CSS in it, then you only put like say the tags, like the HTML sectors, then that is actually link to CSS is actually link of what is actually this CSS.
yeah, look at CSS. If you see this hash exciting, that hash it indicates this is an ID. So CSS is also ID. Oh,
When you ask identifies as here,
when it finds it, it applies the style field. That is CSS. So it does. So you cite so it does. So the reason why it was using this because as the default, let's say if you specify the color property somewhere, it's going to inherit the color automatically. So that's why you need to just type in the instant freeze whereby oh, no. Say if you doing the same person, that is where specificity comes in. Sometimes you can have something unwanted behavior on CSS. That is where specificity comes in so that you know what to use for it. So guys, are we good on classes and IDs? Do you understand? So, how do I include an ID on CSS? Am I using a star sign? Ah, okay, a class? Okay. Are we all in the same line? Same as what?
yes.
Okay, hash and the dot. Hash. Alright, so so guys, you can also group selectors.
Sorry?
You can also group selectors. So for an example, if you were to, sister, let's say, just take 3 of the tags that you are using on the page that you are on right now, right? And just separate them with the comma, then add the style and see what it does. It's going to reflect in all of those selected places. So right here you have a side, right? Put this aside. Can be with each one, they can go each one is the target. Remember we have the target and the opening of the declaration block was this since she is a class member, it's up to the administration.
I was obviously very back to to understand it.
Okay, you see, just name the class, even you can name it.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, Aiden, representative. So you get to go on the, so you go on the track. Take a call. Jordan Adams. Yeah. So it's, the previous classmate, you did that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
I didn't get it.
I insist.
Oh.
Relation with it.
I don't believe it. I don't see the whole thing.
Oh, you see, the resolution is
I should get it open now.
yes.
Oh, this is
Which is a group selector that they have one style, if you want to have the same style,
okay.
you understand the groupings? But there is one thing that is I want you guys to go home, take a pause from the assignment just for today. Just look up and see if you'll find some interesting things. Yeah. Then tomorrow you can just boom, this one, do the assignment. You know the deadline is on Thursday, so it's like a lot of time. So yeah. So who still remember what is a margin? Space around the element.
Oh, that
Space
is
around.
the margin and average and the left and beyond the margin.
Okay.
What is the statistics example? Just
So did we all understand grouping? 100% or 20%, Yana?
under that two.
Okay, is there any question?
No.
Serious?
Yes, I think we should still be yes
If
So
you
the
do.
time.
Okay,
So,
tomorrow I'll arrive early so that I can just play some videos before the actual session.
so the time I'll ask you lots of questions is when we're doing the
Close.
text boxes, those grid methods, and when we're doing pictures.
So have you ever heard of Froggy?
Yes, I know the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Good for flexibles, but yeah, we'll speak about it when we advance on this. So grouping selectors with commas, it allows applying the same style to multiple selectors. It is useful for reducing repetition and keeping code concise and pretty. That is coming out of me, by the way. It's not written there. Yeah. Finally. So guys, I want you to code, encode.
I'm going to message you 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, sure.
No, I'm not going to see that time, sir.
No worries. So what you must do research on for me today is 3 simple things. You won't be coding unless you want to. CSS declaration. You must understand thoroughly what is a CSS declaration. Declaration. Hey, what English? Then CSS rule set. Yeah. CSS rule set. Internal versus external style sheets. Also add in line in there. So number 1 is CSS declaration, CSS rule set, internal versus external style sheets. So I think this is it for today's session. Is there any questions? Sister? Okay, so yeah, I think we'll speak tomorrow about some other session.